Good afternoon on what is a bright, warm but breezy day. It is Thursday the 14th of July and I have a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue delving into. So far I have removed and I've unboxed several things from in here so far, including the Homeworld Revelations Quick Start, Level 1, Issue 3, so we've got a strange light breaks, a familiar problem, Skitter Warp for Starfinder, Bridge the Durga Cult for an Epics Encounter, Fistful of Flowers for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. What's that? The Three Wizard Conundrum for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. Another adventure for 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons is Curse of the Dead Man, Dead Marsh Crew. And then the Talon Hill Quick Start for the role-playing game. So, what these all have in common is this. Free RPG Day, which took place on June 25th in the United States, and then on takes place on July 23rd internationally, including here in the UK. And thanks to the generosity of David Salisbury at Fanboy 3 in Manchester, I have access to all of these a little bit early, which has enabled me to do all of these unboxings and eventually be able to do reviews of these titles as well. And then we have this Cyberpunk Red Easy Mode, an introduction to the dark future for Free RPG Day, published by our Talsorian Games, and this is a quick start essentially to the leading cyberpunk role-playing game in the hobby, a position it's held for many years, even when out of print. Which returned with Cyberpunk Red, sort of a linking scenario, sort of role-playing game between the Cyberpunk 2020 of the 90s and the recent computer game Cyberpunk 2077, which again takes place in the year 2077, and this is set in the year 2045. So, Cyberpunk Red Easy Mode. Welcome to the time of the Red, Trumba. The maker of corporations spent decades wrecking everything, and in the aftermath of their last war, everyone has to fend for themselves. But that's just fine, you can handle it. After all, in a world of vicious booster gangs, rampaging cyborg, corporate assassins, and nihilistic doomsday cults, there's only one rule. Always take it to the edge. Take the big risks, get the big rewards. Be the action, start the rebellion, light the fire, never drive slow when you can blaze a trail. You're hooked, you merely take pistol to the interface in your brain, upgraded your cybernetic fist with carbo glass blades, and installed cyber eyes that can pierce through the red haze like morning fog. There's a world of opportunities out there, just waiting for the right edge runner. Maybe it's you. Cyberpunk Red Easy Mode is a quick introduction to the classic tabletop role-playing game of the dark future and encompasses everything you need to explore the post-war world of the time of the Red, including a dive into the history and geography of Night City and the greater cyberpunk world. The basic rules for the game, set up to help you learn them and get playing right away. 5 unique characters for you to play: a charismatic rocker boy, a lethal solar, an inventive tech, a life-saving medtech, and a hard-hitting media. A new introductory scenario, getting paid, because that briefcase full of Eurobucks is the difference between making rent and living on the street in the time of the Red. So, quite a lengthy blurb there. But you open up and you are kind of faced with a wall of text which introduces the game. So what we've got here is what explains what it is, what Cyberpunk is, and welcome to the dark future, essentially giving you the history from the fall of America in the 80s onwards up through to 60 years or so to 2045 and the time of the Red. So quite a lengthy history. They're going over a few pages. So yeah, then we get into description of Night City, nice little map of there as well. So that's setting everything up with the background, And then we've got things like Neocorps of Megacorps of Night City, Gangs of Night City, Selected Street Sloan, before we get into playing of the game down there. So essentially we've got quite a bit of background, certainly enough, more than enough for a quick start. So we're looking at stats and skill lists and everything like that, and all the elements that make up the basics of a character. So this is quite lengthy before getting into skill resolution, which is essentially the stat plus skill plus 1d10 versus the difficulty value, and the difficulty values typically range from 13 through to 24. And then we're we're into combat, using the same kind of mechanics, and various maneuvers and so on, using grabs, throws, chokes, taking cover, taking damage, and so on. Death saves and stuff like that. Healing a critical injury, all the kind of stuff you're going to need when you get down into the setting. Then we've got an example character sheet, just giving you a guide to what's on a character sheet, and sort of the first sort of like the maps of the play area there, basically a city block, some kind of be like a warehouse. So fairly generic kind of locations, and then essentially a few couple of tables. Essentially part of the life path, because one of the things you do when you create a character in Cyberpunk Red is you put them through a life path, and takes them through sort of like first few years of their life, gives them experience, gives them extra skills and so on, colours their background, that sort of thing. So here we have the tables for cultural origins, your personality, dress and personal style, motivations and relationships, and that kind of thing, or to give colour and flavour to your character, so on. I'm not entirely sure that they're really kind of necessarily quick starts. Quick start should really focus on the rules rather than an aspect of character creation. But here at the end we do have a bibliography, essentially recommended reading and viewing for your Cyberpunk enjoyment. So obviously John Joyce's Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, When Gravity Falls and A Fire in the Sun by George Effinger, all good choices. Obvious ones like Neuromancer by William Gibson. And then filmography includes Kira, Appleseed, Altered Carbon, Blade Runner, The Expanse, Max Headroom, Matrix Trilogy, that kind of thing. It's all there. Then we get into getting paid. First job, Cyberpunk Red. So presumably you could actually take this and run it with your standard characters, the ones you created. Don't necessarily have to use the ones in here. And you could easily possibly plug it in also into the Jumpstart box set, which is available for the game as well. And then really it's quite a short adventure. It really is, getting started. Those details there. So development, climax in the warehouse, and then resolution there. And then we have the characters. So we've got the Rocker Boy, complete with background, and all the background details you get to fill in by rolling on those tables. Again, not entirely sold by that. When we have the solo, and the same again, background on the rear page, tech, and medtech. Okay, and then the media. So yeah, that is easy mode for Cyberpunk Red, quick start, released for free RPG Day. And I'm looking forward to delving into this. I think it's a nice contrast to a lot of the releases for free RPG Day this year, which are kind of for our fantasy and for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition especially, kind of getting, yes, there's a lot of those. So it's nice to have a bit of science fiction. There is already science fiction there with Homeworld Revelations, but again, that makes two amongst a lot of fantasy titles. But anyway, check this out if you're at your nearest gaming store. Check this out on this coming Saturday 23rd of July if you're in the UK or elsewhere. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing of Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And penultimately, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings of the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box and a book or game which I'll pull out and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge, roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do hit that subscribe button. And lastly, I want to thank David Salisbury at Fanboy3 in Manchester for providing me with all of these titles to unbox and review. Without his generosity, I could never be able to do these unboxings or indeed the subsequent reviews. So thank you very much, David. And I will say that if you are in Manchester and you are in need of a really good game shop, then I can't recommend Fanboy3 enough. Great stock of board games, great stock of role-playing games. I have never come out of there not having bought something interesting that I want to bring to the table or read. Well, thank you very much for watching another unboxing Nook. If you've enjoyed this, thank you very much. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.